episode 6 of the Coaching Bolts.
Episode 6.
We are back talking to you in your ear right now. It's one of your hosts. I'm the coach.
And I am the Bolt.
Oh, yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Amazing weekend in the wide world of sports, the wonderful world of sports that we all love dearly.
It was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't college football if it ain't crazy, though.
Mm-hmm. From college to the pros, everything was amazing. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those weekends where, you know what I'm saying, you just sit back, relax.
Pop your Coke.
Oh, yeah.
Get you some pizza. You know what I'm saying?
Just be glued to the TV, man.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna get into, a lot of stuff that went on since the last time we joined y'all. Man, first rankings came out for the college football playoff, and I must admit that I was very, very shocked.
I was up scratching my head, too, when I seen the rankings come out.
Yeah, they first rankings came out initially. You had Alabama 1, Michigan 2, Clemson was 3, and me expecting to see the Washington Huskies at 4, no brainer. Up pops on my TV, the Texas A&M Aggies.
Good old SEC bias, it seemed. You had the Aggies in there, number 4. But, the contenders separated themselves from the pretenders this past weekend. And A&M, your first week as the number 14, you got people all week saying, man, what are you doing up here? And you had your chance to come out and say, okay, stick your chest out. Look, this is why we deserve to be here. Mm-hmm. And you got... fell on your face.
Absolutely mollywopped in Starkville, Mississippi. Mm-hmm. Came and got beat by the Mississippi State Bulldogs, unranked team that was, reeling, looking for anything to add positivity to a season.
Right.
And
coming off a year, they done lost to Kentucky. And
BYU on the road.
Known as a team that lost to South Alabama.
Exactly. And, your first impression on the committee was a loss, and you pretty much justified, everyone's opinion of the initial, them initially seeing the rankings. So, tough week in Aggie land. They'll be looking to bounce back. But, it just, like I said, confirmed everything I thought. A&M, they looked pretty decent throughout the season. Correct. When they were put to the main test earlier in the season against Alabama, they kind of,
they played good for, a couple quarters, but
they didn't prove to be, one of the elite of the elites amongst, the nation's best. So
right. And
they showed that this weekend. The score wasn't indicative of the game. They got absolutely manhandled against Mississippi State. So, like you said, reassuring, everybody's initial thoughts on the ranking. And while Washington cruised to a dominating 66-27 victory over Cal in Berkeley. So I'm pretty sure we'll see some shakeup. Definitely put Washington where
Washington's looking great. They looking like the big dog in the Pac-12, and they are on the fast track to the playoffs.
Most definitely. That will put Washington where they rightfully deserve to be.
Yes.
Looking at some more action across the nation from this past Saturday, you had Florida, number 11 Florida. I think that was one of the games we picked.
That was, and we felt like Florida would win.
We were both wrong. Went down to Fayetteville, lost 31-10. I know, that, it's tough to get a win in the SEC. Any given Saturday,
anything can happen.
Exactly. Fayetteville is definitely not an easy place to play.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas, just when you think, they're out, that's the most Jekyll and Hyde team.
That's Arkansas for it. They do this every season.
Exactly. Just when you think they're down and out, they're going to come back and get a big victory. So 31-10 Arkansas over Florida.
Auburn was in a scrap fight.
Auburn had a close one that was too close for comfort against Vanderbilt on the Plains. Game that saw their new weapon, Cameron Petway, go out. I think it was a hamstring. He had broke a long run. He pulled up.
Put up lane.
Yeah, man. So I think Petway might be down. This game saw John Franklin III get a start.
I saw that.
But he did not finish the game. I think Sean White came in and finished the game out for Auburn. But they were able to escape 23-16. Looking at elsewhere, a game that, got out of hand early. Lamar Jackson 12 of 17, 231 yards, 4 touchdowns, 15 carries, 185 yards, 3 touchdowns.
They have 5 first half TDs, I want to say.
Exactly. First quarter, 21 points. Second quarter, 17 points. 52-7 over Boston College.
Just putting his hands firmly in grasp of the Heisman Trophy.
Might as well give it to him.
Just go ahead and give it to him right now.
Another game we picked, number 10 Nebraska against number 6 Ohio State in Columbus. I must say I am shocked by this one. Not shocked by the outcome, more so shocked by the score. 62-3 Ohio State over Nebraska. I thought this would be closer. What about you?
I was expecting maybe more of a 35-21, something like that, but not 62-3. The boys got manhandled. It wasn't pretty out there in Columbus.
Most definitely. JT Barrett, 4 touchdown passes. He's creeping back into the discussion for the Heisman also.
But Ohio State is definitely putting on their case, especially if they beat Michigan to be up there in the playoffs.
Still waiting on that one to come up. Michigan handled business against Maryland 59-3. Syracuse also handled business 54-0 over Syracuse.
And Bama handled business.
Alabama game. Let's get into this. Game everyone, was a bit skeptical of coming into the week. A lot of people, had jumped on the LSU bandwagon. It was at night in Death Valley. It's always tough to play there. But, this is Alabama. And LSU, Alabama, anything can happen.
True.
But more times than not, it's the Crimson Tide that is proven.
Usually the better team wins that game.
Most definitely.
That year, whoever's the better team.
Most definitely. Alabama dominated the team. With this game, it comes down to who's going to win in the trenches. And Alabama most definitely came out the victor in that regard. 10-0. It was 0-0 through 3 quarters. Alabama finally struck in the fourth quarter with a touchdown run by Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts, this was the first game.
He struggled.
First game that
like
I said, he looked like a true freshman. And, he tried to give LSU the game, but they just did not have the offense. Defense played a great game.
Definitely. I mean, if you hold an Alabama team to 10 points, that's all you can ask for from your defense.
Offense, you got to get it in the end zone, man. I feel like, they got an interception early in their own territory. They just did not capitalize. Leonard Fournette, he fought.
But like you said, in the trenches, Fournette, they handled that line. 17 carries 35. For 35 yards. 35
yards, 2 carries, 2 yards a carry.
Longest rush, 9 yards.
Exactly. That's not going to beat Alabama.
Definitely not.
So, Alabama still 9-0. That's a machine. That's a machine as they move on to face Mississippi State next week. We shall see.
Coming off some momentum with the win against A&M.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how Mississippi State comes out the first couple series, how they attack Alabama. Will they be trying to go up the middle and run the ball, or will they try to attack the outside?
Gotta come out striking. You gotta take the crowd out of it early. You can't make many mistakes, if any.
You can't make any mistakes.
Exactly.
Against Alabama.
So as far as the rankings, they do it every Tuesday. My only shakeup you should see is A&M dropping.
Washington should slide into that
Washington
spot.
Should slide up to 4. And
it'll be interesting to see if Ohio State will be 5 or if Louisville will be 5.
I feel like it's going to be Louisville. Going to be on the first 2 out. It's going to be Louisville and Ohio State, but I think Louisville will be 5, Ohio State will be 6. Interesting to see. I think those are your 6 big boys that are left in it. The only thing shakeup I could see down the road is if Alabama were to lose to Auburn, would the committee give Auburn a look, or would that just be hey? Thanks, a good favor for, maybe Louisville or Ohio State. Like, hey, thanks for getting Alabama out of the way. Or, Michigan also has to play Ohio State. And then Same thing in that regard. With the committee looked at Ohio State, hey, you took out the number 2 team.
Right.
You know, we'll reward you by moving you up there.
Right.
So, you know, still some interesting scenarios to play out. But
they probably would give Auburn a look. I could see Auburn probably sliding up to the 5-4 spot.
Yeah, if you could take out Alabama, I feel like, you know, you have a chance on any neutral site field against any team in the country. You know, if you could take out Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's something to look out for. You know, definitely everyone's going to be paying attention to the poll and the playoff picture down the road for these interesting scenarios. But
Louisville will be rooting for that situation to happen.
Oh, definitely. They're chomping at the bit for somebody to get upset and to be possibly moved down in their favor so they can move into the playoff picture.
Correct.
That'll do it for.
That's all the scenarios I can really logically see happening.
Yeah, as far as that's all I can see. What about? Let's get into the upcoming slate for this week. Most definitely. Let's see.
This week we have
North Carolina and Duke on the gridiron.
Okay.
I don't know if we're talking about that. And we'll say that for the hardwood. A pretty weak slate this week.
That's what it's looking like. We got some interesting games that could possibly have some upsets in, but no perennial powers just going against each other.
I see SC at Washington. That's going to be a game I'm going to be looking out for.
Same here, because, SC has the talent. You know, they're trying to recover from the being on sanctions for the last few years, but they definitely have some players out there at SC.
Exactly. Another game, Michigan at Iowa.
That's a trap game.
Trap game in Kinnick Stadium
at night.
At night on ABC. That's an interesting one to look out for as far as it relates to the playoff picture.
Going back to that SC Washington game real quick, I think Washington should handle that, though, since they're playing at home.
Exactly.
So,
it's just that, SC, they look pretty good when I watch them play. You never know what could happen.
True, you never know.
You never know.
You got Baylor against Oklahoma. Baylor coming off the beatdown they took from TCU.
Mm-hmm. That'll be interesting, and that'll be in Norman at 11 a.m. Another 11 a.m. kick, Mississippi State at Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Tide should roll in this one, but don't come in sleepwalking.
I say learn from Texas A&M.
Exactly, but the Tide should handle that one.
They definitely should. That's really all the
Pitt at Clemson, and Clemson should handle that.
And then you have Ole Miss against A&M. A&M's going to definitely look to put it on Ole Miss pretty bad.
Yeah, they'll be awakened after what happened in Starkville this past weekend. For Kevin Sumlin's sake.
Yes. If he loses this, he might be back on the hot seat. What you think?
I don't know. I think his team has played.
You think they overachieved?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But expectations are crazy out there. They got one of the biggest budgets, and you can't.
Every team in the SEC West expects to compete.
Yeah, they don't play more victories than Texas, so never know.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like his team showed a bit of a stride this year where he might have earned a little bit of leash, but we don't know.
Especially coming off the off season, all the rumblings going on this past summer.
All the turmoil that went on in that program.
And every quarterback transferring to another school.
Exactly. He just got to show that he can right the ship and keep it steady, and they can elevate some more. So,
right.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be something. It'll be something interesting to watch out for.
I think that's all the games really to look out for on the slate. Want to hop into some Heisman talk?
Yeah, most definitely. As far as Heisman, still Lamar Jackson.
Definitely.
I have Jabril Peppers at 2. Probably Jake Browning at 3.
Yeah.
San Diego State running back Donnell Pumphrey, I want to say.
Then he ran for how many yards this past weekend?
Man, hold on, let me see.
Because I seen that name, and he's been cutting up.
Yeah, he had, like, I know he set some type of record out there. I cannot remember what it is.
But, yeah, definitely got to throw his name into the talk.
Most definitely.
But,
yeah, Donnell Pumphrey, 1,581 yards. At 5'9", 180. Yeah, he's not a big guy at all, but, you know...
he's making it happen.
Yeah, averages 6.5 yards a carry, 13 TDs. Yeah, he's at 1,500 already through the season, halfway through the season. He might, you know.
What's crazy, he's been doing this. Look at his stat line for the past couple seasons. 1,600 yards, 1,800 yards, 20 TDs, 17 TDs.
Exactly. You know, so.
He's a ball player.
Yeah, he's definitely in my list.
But, yeah, it's definitely Lamar Jackson. He's on pace to break, was it Colt Brennan?
Yeah.
Well, Hawaii, he's on pace to break his touchdown record.
Exactly.
So that already says enough right there.
Yeah. So, more for me, it's just, going through the motions until we get to the end of the year, to the ceremony, and just hand Lamar Jackson the trophy.
Yeah, just go ahead. Don't even make it be an hour long. You know how the Heisman is usually an hour long?
Yeah, they're going to bring everybody, and they're going to do the feature on everybody. But, for the most part, just go ahead and put Lamar Jackson's name on the trophy. So
put him in the Heisman house so I can see him on my commercials for next season.
Well, if he's a sophomore, can you do the commercials yet?
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point.
All right. I'm gonna turn it over.
You might have to wait on the Heisman house.
Yeah. Till after you get out of school. So I'm gonna turn it over to you for our transition us to our next.
Oh yeah, definitely. Make sure to stay tuned with us. Coming up after this little break, we'll get into some NBA talk and discuss how some of the teams are looking, and just talk about a few headlines and have a few questions. So stay tuned.
Get a chance to talk to KD before or after?
Nah, when I get on the court, I don't talk to anybody but my teammates.
What about off the court, Russell? I mean, there was a time where y'all went to chapel together, I believe, before the game. Did you talk to him?
No, I don't talk to anybody at chapel. I listen to the word and get back to the locker room.
We'll try talking with Tanner there during the free throw, where he seemed to go on for a long time.
He was talking to me, but how many minutes did he play? 3 minutes. It's kind of. I'm trying to focus on whoever's on the court. You're trying to talk to me from the sideline. But I'm sure you're gonna put something on Twitter tonight.
Welcome back, everybody. We've heard from Kevin Durant. We've heard from Russell Westbrook. And since those sound bites, they have recently played, and the Warriors came out victorious. Kevin Durant had a big game. Russell Westbrook struggled. Now, since then, Coach, who do you feel like will have the better season? Individual success and team success?
If we're talking strictly individual, I feel like it's Russell. He's got less guys to share the ball with that are going to command the basketball. If we're talking about from a numbers, individual standpoint, as far as team success, it's a few factors that go into it, but I feel like KD and the Warriors would have better team success.
They do have the higher ceiling. So far right now, the Thunder do have a better record.
Exactly. But if I had to predict as of now, which I gotta watch how I word this, I might contradict myself later on. But just to predict who would have which team would have the better season, I'd have to go with Golden State. But as far as if we're talking about the better individual season, just statistics wise, I'm going with Russell because he's not sharing the ball with as many people. I mean, he's sharing the ball, but it's not like he's got scores.
He's the focal point.
Yeah, he's the main point of the offense. And as far as KD, he's a main point, but he has other focal points of that offense that he has to share the ball with. So
right,
yeah,
I would agree. Russell Westbrook, he's definitely going to get his, whether it's scoring, whether it's assists. He's going night in and night out. He'll have a great stat line. But
as far as the game, I watched that game from beginning to end. I was intrigued to see how they would interact with each other, which wasn't
No interaction.
Barely at all, which doesn't shock me. It got chippy at times between KD and other members of
Enes Cancer.
Yeah, Enes Cantor was chirping at KD. Jeremy Grant got in KD's face after Jeremy Grant posterized KD, actually.
Quote, unquote.
Which, I mean, it was a legit poster. Let's be clear about that. But all they did was wake KD up, and KD proceeded to humble Mr. Grant.
I'm about to say, you see your boy Steven Adams, he tried to tell Enes, hey, chill out with all that, what I'm saying? Be quiet. But it was a little too late then.
I mean, I kind of agree with how Jalen Rose worded it. He said, you handle the breakup calmly. I can talk my noise if I want to. But I think what came out was Cantor asked KD where was that in the playoffs. I think that was what was said. Which was funny to me. I mean, people are mad about it. I like that stuff, man. It's chippy. Who cares, how many minutes he played? I mean, I know what you mean by saying all he's doing is hyping him up to score on his matchup. But, I mean, hey, talk that noise, man. If you got something to say, talk that noise, man.
It's good to get that out your system.
You know what I'm saying? It's basketball. So, yeah.
Let that hurt go.
Yeah, I mean, he's gone, so, But, he ain't got to like him. So, it's all good. It's all good to me. What else happened? But as far as the game, man, not the Warriors, but the Thunder, I feel like they got away from what was working and they fell into the trap of, turning into
pace.
Trying to run with Golden State and trying to, get into the chippiness of the game. I feel like when they came out, they fed the post, they made it a focal point to, feed Steven Adams and exploit the weakness.
As soon as Westbrook came out the game, everything went downhill from there. The Warriors went on like a 22-2 run.
Exactly. The bench didn't pick Russell up, and his other guys, they didn't pick him up. So I mean, as you saw, one person can't beat him. So
exactly.
But you can't go away from what works. So.
But just to piggyback on the question, I feel like Russell will have the better season. He's definitely looking like the MVP candidate, probably the number one person to win the MVP right now.
Definitely.
So he'll have a great season. Probably come close to averaging a triple-double. I know you predicted him to average a triple-dub for the year.
I think I said he'd get 8 rebounds. I don't know if I gave him double-digit rebounds.
Okay. But he'll have a great year, and I think definitely the Warriors will end up having the better team success. They have the higher ceiling. They're looking good right now. They have some things they can definitely fix. Mm-hmm. They're 4-2. They're looking okay, but they have some things they got to fix. But they'll be the better team. We'll see if the Warriors can defend the paint.
Okay. Which gets me on to my question of the team. So as you've seen, you got your first impression of the Warriors. Mm-hmm. And I know that's your team. What are your, from your point of view, what are their glaring weaknesses?
I mean, definitely the glaring weakness is rim protection and rebounding.
Exactly.
Definitely have to do better on the boards. The Lakers this past weekend killed the Warriors on the boards. If you could pull that up real quick, I want to say the Lakers had like 20 more rebounds.
Yeah, they averaged about 11.
Oh, it was 11?
Okay,
51-40. Mm-hmm. That's not gonna work.
Where it killed in this game where it killed y'all was bench scoring. Mm-hmm. Y'all got outscored 61-31. From the bench. I feel like
Pat McCaw, who is very highly touted by a lot of people in the Warriors organization, he's injured right now, so that goes to the bench that's already not that good.
Yeah. Like I tweeted, I said, strength in numbers wasn't just a slogan. That was how they willed themselves to beat teams night in and night out. Mm-hmm. It was because they were so deep. But now you took all those pieces away to acquire Kevin Durant, it's not the same.
It isn't.
I mean,
it's definitely an adjustment period going on right now.
Exactly. And you look at all the championship teams, of the previous years and past years, it's rebounding, depth, defense. You know what I'm saying? Those are
I definitely would
components.
say defense and rebounding. Because even though when the Heat, when they weren't that deep of a team, they were one of the top defensive teams those couple years.
That's true, but you gotta get some key plays from your bench. You gotta be able to go on the bench and get some key plays.
We'll see if Sean Livingston and Andre Iguodala can do that. When the Heat won, Mike Miller, of course, he had that great game, that closeout game.
You know, another thing you had as far as bench factors with bench play come in, you had fouls to give. You know, you have players that can come in. You know, that can come in and be, like you said, those guys you mentioned are guards. You know, you need some guys that can come in and be able to play the post, defend the post, and rebound. Get you some hustle plays. I mean, it's my prognosis from watching them so far is, if they can get hot and outscore you, they good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they hot, if they off, you got a better chance of beating them. Which more times than not, might be the case.
Mm-hmm.
But it's from what I've seen so far, it's a winning formula. What they put on the court, I don't know if it's a championship formula as of right now.
We'll have to see how things look. I'll give it another month to evaluate this team, let everybody gel into their roles, see if Klay Thompson can find his footing on this team. He's struggling so far.
He's struggling, him and Steph. Which is, counteracts my other point is, they're not going to be hot every night, but they're not going to struggle every night. It just comes down to, making those hustle plays, doing the little things to, offset, other teams.
So, just to bounce back, I remember it took Miami an entire season before we really just saw that team gel together and put it together and win that second year when they all came together. I'm not expecting that from this Warriors team because different from that squad is they already came into a system. That Miami team really didn't have a set system, but this Golden State Warriors team does. So I think towards the end of the season, you'll see everybody has found their role, and we can really see how good of a team the Warriors are by that point in time.
I'm trying to remember. I think that Heat team, when they first got together, I don't know, defense wasn't a problem.
Definitely was. They were a great defensive team, fast break.
It was just figuring out how to play offense, which I think is the easier fix. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's if we're gonna compare the two teams, I feel like figuring out how to play with each other and putting the ball in the hoop. I feel like that's
they struggle with
fix.
half court offense when it came playoff time. It's really that finals.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's an easier fix than trying to account for what we don't have, which is lack of depth and a lack of rebounding, and that comes from having lack of athleticism from your big men.
Yeah.
So like you say, it is early.
We'll see if they'll pick up their perimeter defense. Because if you don't have it in the post, then you got to lock up on the perimeter.
Exactly.
So we'll see if they'll make that a focal point and get that together until they can get a fix for the post defense.
Okay. Let me see. Transitioning to one of my points. For the Eastern side of things, you see anybody in the East that can challenge the Cavs, realistically?
Realistically, not this year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in the future we'll see how the Celtics are looking. The Celtics, I feel like they can, if they put it all together this year, they can possibly be the team that will give Cleveland a series. But realistically, this Cavs team, the way LeBron and Kyrie, how everybody has gelled together, everybody has found their role. Everybody knows what they're doing. And
big difference from last year. Kevin Love knows that role now, and he's playing. He's playing for
he's
good
bought
basketball.
into it.
Yeah, he's playing real good basketball. So
I don't see nobody challenging Cleveland realistically in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I think Cleveland, barring any injuries, walks through the East.
Definitely. So right now they're just going to be on cruise control, I think, and just try to play good basketball and make it to the postseason. healthy.
What has been, through these first couple games, who or what, has surprised you for the start of the season?
The surprise, we were looking into standings, and Charlotte is 4-1.
Yeah.
And a lot of people expected Charlotte to have
Charlotte would be good. I didn't think they would, look as good as they've looked so far.
Because they lost some key players. They lost Courtney Lee, Big Al. Then you lost Jeremy Lin, who was a big piece of that team off the bench.
Yeah.
So it's definitely good to see the Hornets playing. They being 4-1, and also another surprise is how Dwight Howard has gelled into the Hawks.
Dwight looks, a lot slimmer. He looks excited to play the game again. He had the block of the year the other night. They called a foul on it, which was horrible. But yeah. I like Dwight in Atlanta. It looks pretty good.
He's looking good.
So far.
He's looking good.
Mm-hmm.
And Clippers 5-1. They're looking good. I'm liking what I expected the Jazz to be pretty good this year and to win 50 games. Right now they're 4-3, and they just got Gordon Hayward back.
Yeah.
So now we can really see how that team is going to look. Now they got their top dog.
That's going to pay big dividends. Rodney Hood is looking like a great player.
Meridian's finest.
Yeah, Meridian, Mississippi, looking like a great player. And now you're going to add Hayward into that fold with Joe Johnson and the rest of the crew.
Twin Towers, Favors, and Gobert.
Yeah, and the rest of the crew, man, it's going to get real out there in Utah.
We'll see if they can make some noise and possibly try to work their way into that top half of the Western Conference.
Yeah, and lo and behold, who else is in the thick of things, looking pretty good? The LA Lakers, the young, new and improved Lakers,
4-3.
4-3, look pretty good in wins. They also look pretty good in a couple of those losses. Things are looking up for if you're a Laker fan. So
definitely, look like Luke Walton has got his handprints all over this team.
Yeah, definitely. He's got Julius Randle buying into that role,
looking like the lottery pick he was.
Exactly, and D'Angelo Russell showing that he's the leader of that team. Oh man, the Lakers look like they can make some noise.
Definitely,
man.
We'll see how Brandon Ingram finds his place on this team.
Yeah, he's going to get better with time. He's pretty much just spotting up and providing length on the defensive end. But
he's learning the NBA game right now.
Yeah, he's gonna come on soon.
Mm-hmm.
Who else is a surprise?
Who else pops out to you?
So a sock is Minnesota at 1-4. Man, I picked them. They were one of my sleepers. They gotta turn it around.
With the thing with Minnesota though, they've been losing some tough games.
Yeah, it's
games that can go either way. So we'll see if that balances itself out as the season continues. But
yeah, I hope so. I really like the Minnesota. So hopefully they turn it around. Magic 3-3.
3-3. That's a surprise.
Yeah. I didn't think they would look as good as they've looked so far. Pacers are 3-3.
Coach Vogel.
Mm-hmm. The Detroit Pistons are 4-2.
Definitely, that's good news for Pistons fans. As long as they keep their record above 500 until Reggie Jackson comes back.
Mm-hmm. It should be all right. And the Bulls are 3-3. Where are these guys? The Knicks are 2-4.
Knicks 2-4, Sixers 0-5, Wizards 1-4. We'll see if they can get things on track. John Wall's been playing well, but he needs Bradley Beal to play well too.
Yeah. As far more NBA news, my guy King James moves in the top 10 all time in the career scoring leaders list. He passed the Dream, Hakeem Olajuwon. This past week.
Another tidbit, he's currently 18th in assists and 25th in steals.
Yeah, man.
He's all around superstar.
This begs the question, can he go into the GOAT discussion?
Do you have him in your Mt.Rushmore?
I mean, no question. I mean, when have we seen a guy, we haven't seen anything like LeBron James.
We haven't.
People compare him to Magic Johnson. You know, Magic wasn't athletic as LeBron.
I always thought he was a more athletic Magic.
Yeah, I mean, who's been able to do everything exceptionally well?
Mm-hmm.
Everything. He does everything exceptionally well.
His only Achilles heel has been his jump shot.
Outside shooting, ain't nobody perfect but Jesus.
But he does have that mid-range shot.
Yeah, it took longer in his development to come, but he can knock down a jump shot, occasionally.
And he developed a post game.
Exactly.
That was one of the big things that probably kept them from beating Dallas. They couldn't throw him in the post, and that next year he rectified that.
Which he should have been doing, since he came onto the league, but he just got by on pure athleticism. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. It took, once a guy got 8, 9 years in and figured out what he could do from skill wise and being cerebral, the level up that his game took. So if you ask me, is he on, by the time it's all said and done, will he be on the Mt.Rushmore? Yeah, I think so.
I can see that as well. He surpassed Larry Bird, in my opinion, as the best small forward to play the game.
And I echo that statement, because, people are going to give LeBron flack for leaving Cleveland, not being able to get by Boston, and also losing his first year in Miami like he did.
Yeah, we'll give him a slide for that San Antonio.
Yeah.
We don't even count that, really.
Yeah, because he showed up, but nobody else did. But, circumstances happen throughout a career. It took Jordan, 7 years to finally get to where he went. People think he just came in.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
He suffered the same fate as LeBron, really, in the sense he couldn't get past Detroit. Detroit was his Achilles heel.
Everybody, not everybody have a career like Magic Johnson. Come in rookie year and win a championship, win rookie year, all that good stuff. Everybody doesn't have that luxury, but you're gonna go through your struggles and strife on the road to greatness in the NBA.
Definitely.
And LeBron went through his and he handled it great. And he's got 3 rings and counting. So
and really, you almost can say that this most recent ring counts as 3.
Exactly, because
to bring a championship to Cleveland.
Man, you beat the all-time, the all-time
regular season wins leader.
Yeah, you beat them. And some would say, you were the catalyst in that. He led all statistical categories. People don't like to give him credit, but you got to give credit where credit is due.
And you had your signature moment.
Exactly.
You had the block. So
the block that set up the shot. So come on, man.
Definitely, I'll definitely put him in my Mt.Rushmore when it's all said and done.
Exactly. Looking at the list, he passed Hakeem, and he has a shot to move up to 8, passing Moses Malone, which will put him behind Shaquille O'Neal.
As in this season?
This season. He has a chance this season to move up past those guys.
When you look at the list, he really can finish realistically. I can see him getting to passing Dirt.
The way LeBron takes care of his body,
he might could even get past Wilt.
Wilt, let me see. Wilt is 5th. It would take about 5,000 more points. The way LeBron stays in shape, he's got about a good 6 to 8 more years left to play. Maybe.
I'm about to say he probably got about 6 to 8. I think LeBron is the type to probably want to, if he's going to be playing basketball, he wants to play at a high level. Yeah. So I can see about
he's 31.
4 or 5 more years of high level basketball.
He's 31. He's 31, and he's getting up there. He's one of all time going to be one of all time leaders in minutes played. We shall see. He can get pretty high.
He can get to the top 5.
Yeah, I don't see him touching 1 at all. Getting close to 1. He can pass MJ, maybe.
I don't see him getting to 2. I don't know if he can pass Carl. So
Kobe is catchable at 33,643.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, I can't see him getting to Kareem. Karl Malone, and I can't see that either.
Yeah.
So three
might be his ceiling.
Yeah, 3 might be the most attainable. By the time it's all said and done for King James. So,
which is crazy for a player who's known for his passing ability.
Exactly.
But you're gonna finish possibly top 3 all-time scoring.
I'm telling you, it speaks to the greatness. A lot of people hate on LeBron, man. Are we still at that point where it's like a cool thing to hate on LeBron?
It was for a while.
Man, it was. Man, the good old days of defending LeBron on Twitter, man, that was crazy. I still do it at times. People love to bring up the whole team and help debates. I mean, like Dwayne Wade said, nobody has ever won a championship alone. So
there it is.
Man, y'all got to kill this narrative that people didn't won championships by themselves. I mean, Michael had Scotty and Dennis Rodman and Horace Grant.
And now the way the NBA is set up is different. Back in the 90s, you could have a dynamic duo and have a great cast of teammates around you and win.
And to a couple of, the superstars' points, the old guys that have played, free agency wasn't what it was now, back then. So who knows what would have happened if free agency was, a big thing back in those days.
That's true.
I mean,
we could have seen.
You could have seen superstars teaming up back then. I mean, it just wasn't a luxury that they were afforded. So,
right.
It's easy to say, what would have happened, but it wasn't the case back then.
So now, instead of having a dynamic duo, you really had to have a trio.
Yeah, something of that nature. And you look at a lot of the great teams. You got a lot of those teams had multiple guys who on the 50 greatest players list. So you got to kill the narrative of
Kareem, James, Magic.
Yeah, I mean Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Dennis Johnson,
Kevin McHale, Danny
Ainge. Come on, man, ain't nobody won it by themselves. The bad boy Pistons,
Lambeer, Rodman,
Dumars.
Come on now.
Man, y'all got to kill that notion, man. Nobody has won a title by themselves. Shaq, Kobe, Rick Fox, Brian Shaw, Evan George, Derek Fisher, all those guys.
You had some players. Then the Bulls, you had Pippen, Jordan, Kukoc, Rodman.
And everybody like to talk about LeBron feeding the Kyrie for a shot. Michael dished it to Steve Kerr.
Oh, yeah. You had Kerr, you had Paxson, you had B.J. Armstrong.
Yeah.
There was some players on them squads.
Kobe's second title run, you had to go get Powell. You had to go get Ron Artest.
You had Lamar Odom.
Trevor Ariza.
You had Bynum. A lot of people was trying to say Bynum was the best center in the league.
Exactly.
During that time.
A young Trevor Ariza. Shannon Brown was a great player off the bench. You had players, man.
Yeah.
Kobe did not win a title by himself.
So
kill that notion, man.
Definitely.
All right, so that was good talk as far as the NBA.
Yeah, as far as that goes. So next up on the SportsCast, we'll dive into some NFL talk and talk about them Cowboys. So stay tuned.
Is Tony coming back at some point? He's getting healthier. Has any of this been awkward for you at all?
No, not at all. I mean, me and Tony have a great relationship. I don't think this team or anybody even worries about that. We just come in and stay focused every day and just try to win no matter who's back there.
It's no big deal who gets the touchdown.
No, it's no big deal. It's at the end of the day, man, like I said, man, we chasing something, man. It's not a one-man show, Each and every week, it's going to be one guy going to have to step up. As you've seen, it was Witt. We had a hell of a game today, and he did outstanding, man. He did his thing.
Can you talk about Dak bounce back after last week's game?
Hey, I'm telling you, man, the man is... He is who he is, man. Number 4, man. The guy's outstanding, man. The poise, just the way he handled himself, the way he carried himself, the way he keep people lifted. Just like, I wanted to, say some things about, the holding penalty, Dak, like, let's just get it right, we good. Like, we need people like that. And, I was like, all right, boom, it's erased. Let's go. Let's move on to the next play. And I just think that's cool.
Best team in the NFC?
I'll tell you this, I'm not going to even get into all of that. All I know is I just love what we got going on right now. We love each other. We having fun with each other. I wouldn't trade what's going on in the world for what's happening right now. You know, we just want to win. However we get that win is all good with every last one of us, and I think that's the most amazing part about this team.
Welcome back, everybody. We just heard those sound bites from Dak and Dez post-game following their 35-10 victory over the Browns. You know, during the game, you know, very efficient game from Dak. 21-27, 247 yards, 3 TDs, no picks. Jason Witten led the way, 8 receptions, 134 yards and a touch. Other touchdown to Cole Beasley. And
Zeke worked his way into things, got 2 TDs.
Most definitely. Dak also found a backup tight end on the 2-yard line for a touchdown. Only 1 catch and 19 yards from Dez. You saw an exchange on the sideline during the game. You know, Dez was giving some huffing and puffing, you know, after Zeke ran it in the end zone. And, you know, you saw Dak go and, you know, snatch him by the collar and say, look, man, you know, gave him a bit of a talking to and, you know, straighten him out. You know, that's, you know, something rare, you know, from a rookie quarterback to a superstar wide receiver.
Definitely.
You know, that's I like seeing that from Dak. You know, reestablishing firm command of the team. You know, I don't know exactly what Dez was, you know, complaining about. You know, he said in the bite, you know, it doesn't really matter, you know, who gets in the end zone. But you know, he was frustrated about something, and it took Dak, you know, to snatch him up, you know, reel him back in, and, you know, get him back level-headed.
He did talk about some of the holdings he felt like that weren't called and everything, so that might have played into him not running routes or selling plays as hard as he should have.
Yeah, you know, a lot of that, you know, when people see, you know, the quarterback snatching up a receiver, you know, it gets into talk about, you know, maybe he's complaining about not getting the ball or not getting as many looks, which has been a topic, you know, since Dak has been the guy. You know, how would he be finding Dez as often as Dez would like? And, you know, you saw Dez only get 1 catch, but, you know, Dez is saying all the right things, and he's, you know, it seems like, you know, he's really taking a liking to Dak. That's what he's been saying.
Based off the interview and everything. And if you go back to last week, Dez definitely got some targets. Mm-hmm. He hauled in 4 catches for 71 yards in the TD. So,
you know, it just feeds back into the whole superstar wide receiver complex. You know, they're gonna say all the right things eventually, but then you gotta, you know, feed them that ball, and you know they want their football. You know, whenever they see fit, because they always think they're open.
Definitely, and they always think they can make the play. So.
Yeah. So, you know, I feel as if, you know, it showed great leadership, as Dez alluded to in the post game interview from Dak. You know, showing that, you know, he is, you know, the guy. Mm-hmm. You know, the main voice in that huddle. And, you know, Dez said, you know, he was chirping at the refs about a holding call, and Dak's like, look, hey, man, next play. Get that, go ahead and let's move on from that.
Which is what you expect from your quarterback.
Yeah, it shows a lot of poise and moxie to be able to get in franchise receiver's face. Yeah, exactly. Most definitely.
And I feel like as long as the Cowboys are winning, I mean, we really cannot I really don't expect Dez to say anything out of line.
Exactly.
I mean, because at the end of the day, you play like Herm Edwards says, you play to win the game. Mm-hmm. So as long as the Cowboys are winning, you really shouldn't hear anything come out of the locker room really negative.
Yeah. You know, that's it really for the Cowboys. You know, they go on to Pittsburgh next week. Looking at some more scores. Panthers escaped the Rams 13-10. Chargers took care of the Titans 43-35.
The Saints keeping their playoff hopes alive with that wide open division, taking care of business against the 49ers 41-23. Michael Thomas pulled off 2 touchdowns that game. Kaepernick had a great showing, you know. So it's good to see the Saints pull off that victory and keep their hopes alive and try to keep pace with the Atlanta Falcons.
Most definitely. The primetime game saw the Raiders beat the Broncos 30-20.
Big time win for the Raiders.
Most definitely.
Since they were 1-2 at home coming into that game, and they undefeated on the road, so they needed that for their morale, a good home win so they wouldn't be thinking we can't win at home.
Most def. Giants took care of the Eagles 28-23. The Eagles have, lost a bit of that magic. Lost a bit of that early season magic.
Carson Wentz is looking more like Carson Wentz, as Skip Bayless would like to say.
Yeah, man, they've hit the wall. They facing some adversity. See if they can bounce back in the upcoming weeks. Lions took care of the Vikings in overtime, 22-16.
Golden Tate, game-winning touchdown.
Most def. And the NFC North is just, up for grabs, man.
And you almost want to say the Lions have a shot.
Yeah.
After the slow start, but Stafford he continues to play great football, and he pulled out that victory. So we'll see what the Lions continue to do these next couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. And, we got Bills and Seahawks are playing right now, actually. Bills are up 17-14 in Seattle. Is that
unexpected shootout?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. We're in the second quarter in that one. And, that's pretty much all we got for the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
What else happened?
I seen with the Dolphins and the Jets, Ajayi continues his trend of 100-yard games.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting 200 from him. You can't get 3 straight 200-yard games. But he also had more than 100 and racked off a touchdown. So the Dolphins are looking good with him in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that boy, he's been playing so good, he made Foster retire.
Oh, yeah.
Just to we're going to be straight up. You make the running back retire in the middle of the season.
Yeah,
you balling.
24 carries, 111 yards and a touch. Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if he keeps up his play.
Todd Bowles going back with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah. We shall see how that goes.
Yeah.
That's going to wrap up NFL talk for this segment.
Yep.
And welcome back. Last segment of the show. We finna get out of here, man. Manny Pacquiao had a fight this weekend with Jesse Vargas, which he took by unanimous decision. A lot of rumblings at this fight as Floyd Mayweather was in attendance. Most people, Stephen A. Smith got in, tried to stir the pot a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of egging on people, trying to get Manny to say he wants Floyd for Pacquiao-Mayweather 2. Me personally, after all the things that swirled around the first fight and the things that happened afterwards, I'm pretty cool on Pacquiao-Mayweather 2.
I'm cool on it as well. Really, I think we should just kind of move on to other boxers and some of the matchups we can have with them besides these two veterans who, if this was 2009, of course we would want to see that fight. But it's 2016, and if the fight were to take place, it would probably be 2017.
Yeah.
It's 8 years past its due.
That's the main thing with boxing right now. A lot of these fights, is people want to see, but it's so much politics that are going into it where it's keeping fighters from fighting each other, and, you end up fighting bums. The top guys aren't fighting the top guys necessarily. And, I feel like that's taken away from the sport.
It is. It's a lot of times you'll hear the fans want a certain fight, and it'll be 2 years before the contract even gets signed up and the fight takes place.
Yeah. It's the fight. A lot of people are clamoring for a Triple G Andre Ward or Triple G Canelo. Mm-hmm. It's just a whole bunch of politics into it. As far as Triple G and Ward, Triple G says, he's not moving up. They can fight at a catch weight. But, Ward says, you the man, move up and come fight me. So, I mean,
button heads right there.
Exactly. And then, Canelo, Triple G, I think them, are they under the same umbrella or is it two different?
It's, I want to say they're two different.
Isn't Triple G with Top Rank? Or is he with Golden Boy? I thought, ain't Canelo with Golden Boy?
Canelo with Golden Boy.
Yeah, Canelo's with Oscar. And I think Triple G
with Top Rank.
Yeah, he's with Bob Arum and Top Rank. So, yeah, man.
Hopefully, I think that fight has a better chance of taking place sooner than the Andre Ward fight.
Yeah, Ward actually about to fight on the 19th against Kovalev. You know, I'm very jacked up to see that one. And, you know, Ward's my guy.
I'll be checking it out for scouting purposes. You know, since
your guy's not gonna get in the ring with him. So
one day, when Andre, you know what I'm saying, will go ahead and go to a catch weight.
Man, why I gotta weaken myself and come down and fight you?
Go ahead and go to a catch
you,
weight.
Mr. Big and Bad, fighting these smaller guys and beating up these cab drivers. Why you pick on somebody else?
Go ahead and go to a catch weight, you know what I'm saying, since I'm gonna have to move up and well, you know, we'll fight at a fair ground, you know, instead of trying to make me have to come up out of weight class.
Yeah. And you know that division.
Look at us, we button heads.
Yeah, but you know that division, man, it's so weak. You know that even if the other guys that go at it, it's just not interesting enough, man. So, you know, I just hope a lot of these top fights happen with a lot of these top guys. So, yeah, hopefully we get that fight. The 19th was what, 2 weeks away or a week and a half away?
It's about 2 weeks.
Yeah,
week and a half.
So that's when Ward will be in action. Did Triple G just fight, or has he got a fight coming up? I think he just fought.
He just fought.
Yeah, he just fought not too long ago.
Almost, about a month ago.
Okay, so yeah,
there'll be some time probably for his next fight. So he'll probably just be chilling, letting these fights take place, and we'll see what fights will happen from there.
Okay, so that's gonna wrap up, the sports talk for this week. We had some new little wrinkles into the show that we hope y'all like. Most definitely like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on SoundCloud.
Definitely.
And y'all have our Twitter handles.
Medias, yes.
Exactly. Y'all have our Twitter handles, so hit us up on there with topics. I got the email address in the description, so hit that up. Also, with any likes or concerns or topics you want to hear.
Definitely.
And most definitely we'll be working to get back to y'all soon. So any last words you got to say, man?
No, just excited to just another week of sports, and college basketball is getting fired up.
Yep, the exhibition games have been played. We'll get into
the real games pretty soon.
Yeah, the games that actually count are gonna start up pretty soon. So
it'll be interesting to see how these top teams looking, see how Duke and Kentucky, and go from there.
Most definitely. So for my co-host, Mr. Boat, I am the coach, coaching both SportsCast, signing off.
Holla at you.